How are you feeling physically? I mean, when you were out, I would hear like little updates here and there about how you were doing. I've dealt with some neck issues myself, and it's one of those things where sometimes you'll wake up, you'll feel like, okay, I feel good. Then another day you might wake up and you don't necessarily feel the two fingers on the end of your right hand, whatever that may be. What was this process like for you, even coming to grips with the fact that you had this severe injury?
Yeah, just to really be patient, all I could really do was everything that was in my power, and that was just rehabbing, staying positive, and knowing eventually it will get better. Like, that's a huge mental hurdle to get over, right? And that's half the battle in getting well sometimes. So just to know that if I, stayed the course, eventually things would get better. I didn't expect it to take as long as it did, but, I wasn't expecting the complications to begin with either. And at the end of the day, it ended up kind of really being a blessing for me, because I got some really special time at home with my daughter, who was just 6 months old when I got hurt. And then, now I'm going back and she's over 2. So I've got to spend all that quality time at home with her and, playing that stay-at-home dad role. And, I found I'm a better dad than I ever was a wrestler. So, there's always that as a full-time backup plan too. So, just to stay the course, be positive, knowing I would get better, and eventually I would get, back in the ring and back on pay-per-view. And here I am.
And you're facing a guy that you're incredibly familiar with, obviously, Roderick Strong. How was that for you, coming right back into a program with him? Somebody who, from an in-ring perspective, you're comfortable with, you've got chemistry with, you've got history with. Coming back from something like that and being put in the ring with him, did that almost put you at ease that is like a first program for you?
Exactly. You're 100% right, man. A guy that I trust fully, in and out of the ring, one of my best friends. That's an ideal situation to be put in, coming back from this amount of time off to be in there with a guy like Roddy. And even if we weren't as close as we are, it would still be ideal, because he's a professional. He's one of the best to ever do it in this generation and other generations too. He's just, he's a guy that I've looked up to for a long time, trying to make it in wrestling. He was a guy that I watched and idolized and was like, man, I wish I could be as good as him one day. And then, lo and behold, we'd become close pals and tag team partners, right? So it's crazy how life works out sometimes. But yeah, best situation to possibly be in coming into Sunday for sure.